Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the Vector .45 and asking the question, is it an underrated gun in Tarkov? There's a lot to get through, so let's get straight into the numbers. You can find the Vector .45 at the skier and it's going to cost you around 89k, which isn't that cheap in my opinion for a starter weapon for what we're going for here, which is more of a cheaper build. But it's not too bad either, considering the weapon comes with loads of parts attached to it as standard. Surprisingly though, it's only 7k cheaper than the other Vector. You know what I'm talking about. It's basically the best gun on the game right now. It runs the 9x19 7N31 ammo and it's an absolute beast. You could even argue that it's the best gun in the game right now. So yeah, 89k is not exactly the cheapest gun you're going to find, but it does make up for that when we start looking at the bullets. So you can see we have three bullets here, the .45 AP, which is for the Vector that we're going to be running today, and then we have the AP 6.3 and the 7N31, which are for the other Vectors, which we're going to compare the .45 AP to today. So just before we get into the ballistics, let's start off with the price of each one of these bullets. Starting with a .45 AP, if we filter by item, you can see that this goes for $4 to the Peacekeeper, and let's be serious, you can't really afford to buy it other than that. So you can get 200 of these every time the Peacekeeper resets, which I think is decent. As long as you're on top of it, they never sell out, so you can definitely accumulate a lot of bullets really fast. And at $4, it really isn't that expensive. Next up we have the 6.3 AP, and if you filter by item, this goes for $5 to the Peacekeeper, so $1 more or 138 rubles more per bullet. And again, this can be bought for 1,003 off other players on the flea market, but that is extremely expensive for what this bullet does really. We'll look at the ballistics in a minute, so you don't really want to be buying them for well over a K, to be honest. And last but not least, we have the 7N31, the daddy of the bullets, definitely the best of all these three here, but the price also reflects that, with the original bullets off the Prapor costing 1,958 rubles, which actually converts to a staggering $15 in comparison to the $5 and $4 we're looking at the other bullets. And again, it's 3k a bullet if you're going to just buy it off the flea market. So after looking at the prices, we know there's $1 between the 45 AP and the AP 6.3, which is again 138 rubles per bullet. But how do they perform? Let's take a look at the ballistics. So looking at the ballistics chart, we're going to start with the flesh damage, or just damage as it shows on the chart there. And the 45 AP slaps in comparison to the 6.3 and 7N with a 70 flesh damage. I wouldn't say it's high enough for that leg meta really, but it's definitely going to do a great job when shooting those arms and trying to kill those rats. Next up is probably the most important section when it comes to choosing your bullets, and that's the pen power. You're not getting through any armor if you don't have the bullets to penetrate it. It's quite simple really. And the .45 AP again wipes the floor with a 6.3 AP, having 6 more penetration points and only 3 less than the god tier 7N31. Personally, I think that's quite impressive. Now, we're not going to go over every single stat here. I'm sure a lot of you guys totally understand these ballistics, but if you look at the right hand side, you can see a bunch of numbers, and I'm just going to go over briefly what they mean. So above you have the numbers 1 to 6, and that represents the different armors you can find in the game. 1 being the worst and 6 being the best. And then the higher the number, the better the bullets perform against that level armor. And as you can see, the 45 AP ammo is performing better against levels 4, 5 and 6 armor than the AP 6.3. Okay, so that's us done with the ballistics there. So from what we've learned, I think it's fair to say that this bullet sits directly in between the AP 6.3 and the 7N31. Yet it comes in as the cheapest bullet of the three. Now this video is actually supposed to be about how the Vector .45 is underrated, so let's get a loadout sorted and jump into a raid. And the loadout on the screen now is what we're going to be going for. First off, I'm going to just move that into there because I think that is fairly where it belongs. But we're going really cheap because that's what this video is kind of based on. It's about it being a cheap beast. I'm not saying it's high-end meta, it's not an M4A one, it's not the other Vector with 7N, I'm not saying it's going to perform like them because it isn't, but I do think for your cheap option it should be considered. You know, your 150k gun all in, there aren't much weapons you can go 150k all in with that have the fire rate of this Vector and the bullets that are actually decent to go with it. So this is the Vector itself here. And this is everything we're sticking on it. So if you wanted to build the exact same vector as I use in this video, you'd be able to do so. One negative I would say is the 30 mags. The other vector has the 50 mags. It'd be great if they brought a 50 mag out for this vector, but it definitely does hurt this weapon, no doubt about it. So anyway, let's stick these on now and jump into our first raid to see how we get on with this vector. What are you doing? You going up?
I'm looking at the doors.
Yeah, okay. I'll go this side.
I've got the doors good here.
Run in.
Footsteps.
Multiple.
The ground. Coming up.
Coming up, yeah. Dead?
No, I don't think so. Oh, man, he's upstairs. He's upstairs.
One down.
Yeah, nice.
Mate, it's so dark on interchange, it's unbelievable. They're not wrong, right? All these people complaining. Where are you, Nate? Can you give me some info?
Mate, same side. Up the escalator, then sharp left. I am round that corner.
Yeah, sick. It's literally close to the escalator kind of thing. It's like the trolley place. It's the self-checkout place. I'm in self-checkout. Yeah. I'm dead. What a nade.
Wow.
Just an accidental nade, I think. Well, not an accidental, fucking great nade, but... Adrenaline's at about 8. Oh, golden stat. Is that you?
No, I'm not moving. I'm searching body. Ready to stop.
That guy here is... One down.
Reload in.
Right down the corridor he is, I'm fucked.
Can you get to it? Can you get into here?
Oh, no, I'm dead. Oh, dead boys. Who? Oh, Lethal. What about you? Oh, Lethal.
That nade.
Nice little raid. So, we're back and it's time to answer that question, is the Vector .45 underrated? And in my personal opinion, I think it is slightly underrated, yeah. The bullets are cheaper and better than the AP 6.3, and that's kind of what led me to make this video, because this is the gun that really fires those bullets fast. Those bullets snuck into Tarkov before the Vector did, so I feel like it's now getting overlooked because those bullets were good at the time, but everybody knew they weren't strong enough in a pistol only, which they came with a pistol to begin with. But now the Vector's here, go and try it out and let me know what you think about the Vector .45 yourself. I'm going to leave this video there anyway. If you liked the video, like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching as always, and take it easy.